When I was at my previous church, there were some really great people, but there were also some people that were very ableist and believed that mental health was just something that you had for God to cure. It was really hard for me to hear as someone with bipolar disorder. The idea that my disability or my mental health is something just for God to cure was really a harmful stereotype that people were definitely pushing on me. I definitely believe miracles can happen, but it's a part of who I am and it's a part of my story, and it was something that I have been given that is something I'm going to struggle with, but also something that makes me who I am. I kind of lost my faith. I just genuinely believed that church just wasn't going to be for me, that I was going to kind of separate that part of who I was and leave that part of me behind.
So oftentimes we experience students, for some reason beyond themselves, they have religious baggage or had some trauma that's happened to them. Even if that faith community is seeking noble ends, is seeking to follow Jesus, is seeking to be holy, they can unintentionally do harm too. And our goal here in moments like that, it's to be a steady shoulder to lean on, to be a kind of people who walk alongside people who have experienced trauma through all parts of life, not just church, and to say you can still go on a further journey.
Experiences through the church have been rough for me regarding my mental health. When I came to High Point, everyone that I met was so welcoming and so inclusive of my disability and my mental health.
My hope is that we bend toward one another here. It means that we take some patience where our impulse might be to back away, but if you stay long enough, you get curious and you might lean into one another.
So tonight, let us receive what the Lord has for each of us, and may it help us continue even just a little bit further in our individual and collective journeys.
Wednesday night, Wednesday chapel, old school name, new school vibe. You're going to experience a lot of joy. It just so happens that I love our students. I think they're the coolest. You're going to run into someone like a Cameron Collis, or a Carly Zimmerman, or a Raina Alston, or a Chelsea DeLapp, or any number of people who joy kind of exudes out of them.
My favorite part of the services is the music. I think it's so engaging, audience participation, and to me it's the place where the presence of God is the most tangible. I love just using the gifts God has given myself and others to be a vessel and to lead others in worship.
My experience has been wonderful so far. The community is so welcoming, and I'm so appreciative that everybody here is basically like a family. I love sharing music with everyone, and I love helping others get closer to God by leading them in worship.
My cup feels filled after I can sing along at the beginning or at the end with the people that I've played music with since I've gotten here, whether it's been in jazz band or just for fun. I joined the Board of Stewards my spring semester of freshman year.
The Board of Stewards is a Christian service organization in the chapel, and we get to provide leadership and service opportunities for really anyone that wants to be a part of it.
Board of Stewards consists of community, worship, service, and philanthropy. We also started doing a Bible study, which is great. So it not only keeps us accountable for what we're doing at Chapel, but it keeps us accountable with our relationship with Christ.
One of my favorite things that we do in the Board of Stewards is our fall philanthropy, which is Salvation Army's Angel Tree.
Angel Tree is an organization through the Salvation Army where we're able to provide Christmas gifts for underprivileged children in the High Point University area.
Working with Board of Stewards as a member is really a joyous opportunity because you get to, one, get to know your board members better, and two, you get to go out and serve other people that share some of those same commonalities. So we can just pass it around. You guys did such a great job forming a circle. We might need to move around a little bit. It's absolutely amazing to be able to witness people grow and thrive and just get to meet each other and just grow in community and serve the community.
But additionally, there's breakout groups.
So breakout groups are several different groups that meet immediately following the chapel service every Wednesday. And it's really a time for you to sit with other individuals who attended chapel and be in community with one another and be in fellowship with one another and talk further about the service. Different people get different things out of it. So some people might go if they have questions about the service and want to get others' viewpoints. Some might go because they want to share their viewpoint and maybe get some feedback on it. Or some just go and some people just sit and observe and are just trying to soak up everything they can. I love the conversation. I love the people who come to the group. I love the viewpoints they bring to the table because it's always something different every week.
The community is so unique. It's such a unique demographic, working with only college students.
Being a part of such a core part of the chapel life here, it's just been incredible so far.
It's not like you just go on Sunday and you see them and then you don't see them until the next week. Most of these people I'll see at the CAF, I'll see walking around campus. They'll be in some of my classes. And because of that, this community is very easily able to grow together because you're always with others.
I'm definitely in the minority in terms of people who did not grow up with a super religious background, and I still felt embraced and loved in this community despite that.
This is a community for everybody.
It is a melting pot of people from all different faith backgrounds coming together.
And we actually encourage that all different types of religions come.
These services on Wednesdays are considered non-denominational.
We have non-denominational, we have Baptists, we have Catholics, we have Hillel. So we have a lot of people of the Jewish faith coming.
You can take something away from the message every single week.
You would find this kind of new way of being, and you got to do it again and again and again because it's so easy to fall back into the undervaluing yourself. And you can either refine or fire again and again. It's super uncomfortable. It's actually the way forward. It's actually the way of actually discovering your value and one another's value together.
Reverend Dr. Preston Davis's messages are absolutely phenomenal.
Most weeks he speaks. We do have Reverend Williamson, we'll have guest speakers occasionally, but most weeks you're going to hear from Preston.
Great listener, great talker, great person.
He is one of the most personable people that I've ever met.
He appeals to just about everybody in the audience, wherever you are on the religious spectrum.
He really just has a way of diving deeper into scripture and just making it sound absolutely beautiful.
He's really good at incorporating the gospel with some academic work as well as some personal stories of his.
Remove the sandals from your feet, for this place in which you are standing is holy ground. I got a friend who, when he preaches, he doesn't wear shoes because he's always on holy ground. It would freak y'all out. It's wonderful.
I'm very thankful for someone like Preston to not only be leading this chapel, but just for the stuff that he has been able to teach me along the way.
He brings a perspective that I typically wouldn't think about.
There you go. Later, friends. Peace. See you. There you go. Later, Jess. Later, friend. Good to see you.
Everybody, whoever you are, you need something to ground you.
Being a student can be really difficult.
It gets busier the older you get. The more responsibilities you have, the more degrees you have. When you start getting in the workforce, everything becomes more complicated, as it should, because you're becoming an adult. There has to be something to center you or to ground you, right? Whatever that is. And so as a freshman or a sophomore or junior or senior, if you're still, on the fence or you've decided you have no affiliation with anything, I would encourage you to come to chapel because it can maybe put you on a path of something that will ground you.
It's something that you need in life. It's a centering presence. Being a part of a community like this I think is very centering for a lot of people.
Whenever I came into this space, whenever I would sing and be a part of the audience here, it would just transform me into a whole nother realm of letting all my worries stop at the door.
For anyone who wants to be a part of the chapel community or is even looking to be a part or is even a little bit curious, I'd encourage you, come 3 times. Come 3 times. I can almost guarantee that after those 3 times that you will enjoy it.
The growth that I've had since the beginning of this year has been immense.
And it really turned into something that really became the highlight of my week as an undergraduate, and that's why I still do it as a graduate student.
You will meet people who are excited to know you, who want to know you, who are eager to know you. It is a place where you get to belong, where you get to grow, where you get to serve. If you want leadership opportunities, there's leadership opportunities. If you want pilgrimage opportunities, there's pilgrimage opportunities.
And we just hope that you will find the same sense of fulfillment that we are feeling within this space.
It's a sad reality that a lot of people have experienced, hurt in the church, and, their hearts become very closed off to it.
Humans have the capacity for error, but God is the one who supports us and loves us continuously, time after time. And so that's what you want to focus on when you're rebuilding your relationship, as you're healing from those traumas and those hurts. Reflect on who God is, because that's what matters, who God is and what God thinks about you.
I would encourage people when they go back, or if they go back to the church, to remember those truths, to go into the Word itself and to pray to the Lord itself, and to find ultimately a community that resembles that preaches that, and ultimately wants you to have that at the forefront of your life.
If you hear a calling from God that you belong here and that there's something here for you, give it a long shot.
There's a kind of necessary suffering, a small amount that we go through, that on the other end of it, we're visited by the grace of God, of the one whom we ask for forgiveness from, and we get a new kind of beginning. And we don't have to make the mistakes of old. And we can go into a new life where we're not filled with regret all the time. And we can be more whole and holy people.
I am a part of HPU's worship band, and we get to lead worship for the chapel service. I have gotten the opportunity to solo a couple of times and do guitar, and it's been great to expand my musical opportunities, but also being a vessel for God to use my body and my talents for good, and for Him to use me to lead and bring people to God. There are places where you are welcome, and High Points Chapel is definitely one of them. Regardless of what you think or what you believe or what you practice, you are welcome in this space. And that was just something I never thought I was going to find, but I found it here.
At the risk of being overly sentimental, if you're still watching, you're beloved of God. No matter what you've done, no matter who you are, no matter what anyone says about who you are, you're cherished. You're beloved.